Hi, grade 11-12. This is Miss Cantillon. We're working on section 4.3. This first video is just going over a question in your textbook that I didn't assign, but that I would like you to complete. It is question number 8, and it is found, I'm looking for my page number here, on page 128. So if you could all get 128 out. The other thing you'll need to have handy is pictures of those triangles. They're also located to the right on the loose leaf if you don't have them, on the big loose leaf on the side of the board. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to do coordinates of this circle. So I'm going to start with, this is a unit circle. This is an x and y plane. So here's my x coordinates and there's my y coordinates. Okay. So I want to know this point. If this point is at 1, 0, this point up here, the x value is 0 and the y value is 1. Okay. Over here we have an x value of -1 and a y value of 0. And on the bottom here, we have an x value of 0, and we go one direction, -1 in the y. Okay, we know that value is 1 because this is a unit circle. That is the definition of a unit circle. Okay, now that we've done those coordinates, let's do 45 degrees, and 45 is pi over 4. So let's check out this pi over 4. So I want to know this coordinate right here. I want to know how much x and how much y add or come together to create this point. Okay. So we're going to use a special triangle. And that special triangle I'm going to use is pi over 4, 90, and pi over 4. And we constructed yesterday that the side lengths of that triangle are 1, 1 over root 2, and 1 over root 2. So these special triangles you're always allowed to bring in, but you won't be able to bring in a unit circle. So you'll have to construct a unit circle. Okay? So based on this, because this has a reference angle of pi over 4, I know that it has gone in the x direction, 1 over root 2. Make sure you're on the right blank. And in the y direction, I know that we've also gone 1 over root 2. Okay. Now that we've constructed this point, we can use symmetry to do every other multiple of pi over 4. So here is another multiple of pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. Okay, so this is going to be exactly symmetrical, exactly the same points, except for I have a negative x value and a positive y value. So I'm just going to copy from this first quadrant, only adding in the negative. Okay, 1 over root 2, 1 over root 2. This, again, this negative sign is really important. Okay, using symmetry again. Oops. Using symmetry again. I'm looking at 5 pi over 4 here, this point right here. Okay, this is the exact same coordinate, only I have a negative y and a negative x. So the exact same, only both are negative. Okay. Now I'm looking at this point right here. This is made up of a positive x and a negative y. Okay, so, oh, I wrote this in the wrong spot here. -1 over root 2, -1 over root 2. So, that was my own mistake, sorry. Okay, so here I have a positive x, I just said, 1 over root 2, and a negative y. we're going to do the same thing with a 30-degree triangle, or a pi over 6. Okay, so you'll remember a pi over 6 triangle, not drawn to scale. I'm just doing a quick sketch. Pi over 6, you have this on your unit circle already. It's also located on the sideboard. Okay. It has a x value, a positive x value of root 3 over 2. And it has a positive y value of 1/2. Okay. Using symmetry, another angle that has a reference angle of 60, or sorry, 30 rather, right over here, 5 pi over 6. If you think if this is 5 pi over 6, well, what's left to make pi, that would be 1/6, or pi over 6. Okay, so this is symmetrical. It has the same reference angle, so it's going to have these exact same values, only my x value is negative, my y value is still positive. Okay, again, that negative is super important. Okay, we'll see if I can find the right spot for this next one. Symmetrical to be right here. Again, this has a reference angle of pi over 6. It has a negative x and a negative y. So the same values that we've been using, only they're both negative. Okay, and then finally this reference angle over here, the other one that has a pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, I'd have to add another pi over 6 to get 12 pi over 6, or 2 pi. So I have a positive x and I have a negative y. So positive x and a negative y. Okay, so notice all of these green values, my x's are all root 3 over 2. They're all root 3 over 2. But here my x's are negative. Okay, my y's are always 1/2, but they're negative over here, negative y values. Okay, so really we only need to do our first quadrant and then use symmetry for the rest. Okay, our last triangle we need to look at is the one with a reference angle of 60. Okay, so I'll quickly sketch that over here, an angle of 60. You guys have this on your sheet, and it's also located at the front. That would be pi over 3. Across from my pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. Adjacent is 1/2. And it always has a side length of 1 because we're working in the unit circle. Okay, so pi over 3 is right here. Okay, so it has a x value of 1/2. It has a y value of root 3 over 2. Okay, so I'm going to fill in those same values right away because I know it's going to follow this pattern. And I'm going to add my negatives in after. Okay, so here everything is always positive. In quadrant number 2, I have a negative x value, right? My x values are negative. Negative x, positive y. Okay. In quadrant 3, I have both a negative x and a negative y. So I have negative x and I have negative y. And in this last quadrant, I have positive x and negative y. So I need to add a negative. In a second, I'm going to ask you to pause. Actually, I'm going to stop the video and I'll make a new video. So what I'm going to get you to do next is you're going to get out that unit circle that you filled in yesterday. It has blanks at the top, and many of you said, well, what are those blanks for? I want you to use special triangles and see if you can come up with these same points on your unit circle. Have your book closed and only peek if you need it, but try and test yourself and see if you could construct this unit circle. Again, I will let you take the special triangles in, but I want you to be able to construct a unit circle. I'm going to give you an exactly same unit circle that I gave you, and you'll need to fill in the blanks. Okay? So this will be the end of this video, and then there'll be another video after you're done this.